Big Boy's neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. I've been waiting on this one right here. You know how it seemed like right when you get to somewhere, that person just left?
Yeah.
Or when they in town, you out of town. Dave East in the neighborhood, man. Welcome to the neighborhood.
What's up, man?
Man, it's a pleasure to have you.
Get up here.
Man, I've been waiting to have you in here too, bro. And please recognize that I've been looking at the hard work, bro.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? And what I love about that, man, is that there's a grind that a lot of people don't have. And then there's also Dave East, man, where it almost feel like it's about to happen, it's about to happen, it's about to happen, and you keep pushing.
Right.
And what I call that outliers, that 10,000 hours, bro, you put that in.
Got to, man. I come from nothing, so I feel like what else I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Go hard.
Yeah, or sometimes you go hard or go home. Sometimes we don't have a place to go to.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to continue to go on.
Right.
I do want to ask you, man, just about this thing that we do call celebrity, that we do call hip hop. You know what I'm saying? When did you first fall in love with hip hop? What was the introduction to you?
The introduction to hip hop to me was Snoop.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Doggy Style.
That's crazy. I
was in New York.
Why in New York did you enjoy that album so much?
That's what my cousins, like all of my older cousins was playing that. Like they was caught up in that West Coast, that Dre, that sound. So if it wasn't, like, of course it got the Biggie and all of them just because where I was at, but my earliest memory of rap was Snoop Dogg.
Is it crazy when we fast forward that Snoop and
that's Unc now.
Yeah, man.
Life is super crazy, man. 360, like.
Do you remember a specific song off of Doggy Style?
I just remember hearing the skits, people peeing, like the homie peeing. I can remember that at like 7, 8 years old, you know what I mean? So,
and it's crazy when you're kind of a fan first to any music. Yeah. And then you start to realize that this is something that you could do as well.
Myself, right?
When did you turn that corner?
I played ball all my life, so
I can tell by how tall you were when I first stood up next to you. We were talking off air, man. Like somebody got to put in some notes, or I got to start googling stuff where he said he's 6'4". I think he took a courtesy inch off of himself.
I think he did too.
Yeah, but when he stood up and shook my hand, I told him, I said, man, I felt sunned at the time because I was all like in his chest, and you know what I'm saying?
Did he like bulk up on you too?
It felt like he went a little swan, like you know what I'm saying?
I did some push-ups before I pulled up.
So. And I remember walking into the restroom, I was like, that motherfucker taller than what I thought. You know what I'm saying?
Can't do that even no more.
So you did play ball?
Yeah, I had a full scholarship, University of Richmond. Played there for a year. They kicked me out. Got into a little scuffle with one of the captains.
Yeah, that's one reason to get kicked out.
I
love how you try to blame it on him. They kicked me out. You know what I'm saying? All I did was put hands on somebody.
I just beat somebody up. They put me out. I went back to New York. Was just playing.
Did you feel when you get kicked out to school, or when you're thinking about basketball? What did you feel at that moment? Did you feel like know how that sometimes like, damn, that's over?
Yeah, I felt like my first thought was, in any way, don't let my father find himself. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, let me get transferred or something.
Try to do some this and that.
Let me try to get to another campus or something before my pops find out. And I was able to hold it down for a while. Shouts to my mom. She held that down.
Hell yeah. She she knew pops was going to be on your ass.
I was going to get killed, man.
You know, it's hell of a when moms are like, yeah, well, this is what we're going to do.
Look,
you know?
Yeah. She said, now look, you know how that's going to go if this ever comes in. Mama held that down. But I went there. I came back to New York, worked out for a while. I was just playing like Dykeman, Hunter College. And then I got a scholarship to Towson in Baltimore. Went there for a year, and I got in some trouble. I got caught with a gun. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do a little time out there in Baltimore City. Got out, and during that time is when I first got introduced to Islam. First got really focused on what I wanted to do when I got out. I knew ball was over. I knew just being on campuses with the alumni and all the politics that go into that.
Yeah, you knew that.
I'm like, man, I can't go to another campus with this record. So I just focused up on rap. I always loved rap. You know what I'm saying? I always could quote everybody, rhyme, stuff like that, but I never saw myself doing it. Everybody always was pushing ball on me. You know what I mean?
So then when you didn't have ball, it pretty much was like, was it might as well, or did you like, nah, okay, I feel this?
It was like, what can I do that I'm going to love to wake up and do? You know what I mean? Because I love to wake up and play ball. I love to wake up, go to the gym, see who balling for the day. I used to love that. So I was like, I can't go get no regular 9 to 5, I'm gonna get fired. I'm not.
Yeah.
That's not what I like. So what can I do that's gonna, not only take care of me and mine, but I'm gonna enjoy it. And I figured that if I sacrifice a few years of really being down, like going through it, figuring out how I'm gonna eat, all of that. If I could sacrifice a few years of that and put it into my craft, it'll pay off, and that's exactly what happened.
And how do you figure out to eat? Because you know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say this is what I'm doing now,
right?
But it's totally different when you're not really making bread off
and you
of
in
it.
that position.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole world there's still bills, there's still food, there's still responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? So then that gives you kind of a this and that, like, damn, I got to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I need to keep doing that as well. How did you get a balance on before the money start coming in?
I tell people all the time, it took me at least 4 or 5 years to make $1 off rap.
Wow.
Like $1.
You don't see
never got paid for a show. Nobody was asking me, yo, what you charging for features? It was like at least strong 4 years of not a penny.
How did that keep you going when you didn't see? Especially when we come from a like pay me now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even talking about music. I'm talking about just like
that was super tough, bro. Like I had, shouts to my homies at that time, because I've had a few homies that was like, you tripping. You know what I mean? Because a bunch of times I was like, man, this ain't working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't about the pop.
That's what I'm going to ask you. Like,
Don't
lay it
nobody
down.
know me. It's like a few times that crossed my mind. And I would say right before my daughter was born, like not even before she was born, once I found out her mom was pregnant, and she was like, yo, this is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's what made me say, you know what? I got to lock in. Like, because I can't drop what I've been doing all this time and then try to go get a regular job right now.
Yeah. You
Just
had too much in.
Yeah,
Huh?
it's like I didn't put too much time. Them 10,000 hours you was talking about. Like I didn't put too much time in this. Something got to happen, and then out the blue. I wouldn't say out the blue, because me and Jungle had we was close, just me being over there. But Nas signed me, man. You know what I mean? That was insane.
Hey,
It
man.
was right when I was about to leave it alone. Like I'm like, nah, this ain't.
You ever
About
seen
signs.
that meme or whatever where dude is like chopping underground through the
Oh yeah.
and then
One
he
side of the
gave
wall.
up.
Mad close.
Yeah, and the diamonds were on the other side. Like
You don't
Nas was
even
right
know.
there on the other side.
You have no idea.
How did you and Nas? How did those paths cross? Because Nas is God. You know what I'm saying?
man.
And that had to be
Tell
an
me about
influence as well. You know what I'm
He
saying?
influenced me my whole, ever since a kid. Like I said, like right after Snoop, I was in tune with Esco. Like that's what we was knocking. You know what I mean? But my aunt, I'm originally from Harlem. You know what I mean? But my aunt lived in Long Island City, Queens. You know what I mean? And you got like 4 projects over there. You got Queensbridge, you got Ravenswood, you got Astoria houses, and then you got Woodside. And they all like in walking distance. My aunt lived in Ravenswood, so I would walk to Queensbridge every day to go get Jamaican food, liquor, weed, whatever I was going over. The girls was over. It was just like Queensbridge is the biggest projects in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like it's 6 blocks, 96 buildings. It's its own world. You know what I mean? So I'll be over there every day. All my homies from the bridge, like, you know what I mean? And I would see Jungle, Nas' brother, or I never seen Nas until I signed with him.
Damn.
My
Wow.
whole life. Never seen him.
What was that like?
I got a glimpse of him. He was getting in a car, and somebody was like, yo, that was Nas. I was like, I blinked. Just missed him. Like, you know what I mean? And that was years ago. Like, you know what I mean? So, but I would see Jungle all the time. Like, Jungle would call, yo, bring me some cigarettes. Bring me a Dutch. Get a bottle. You know what I mean? Bring me a cigarette. Like,
Is Nas
me and
there?
Jungle was like that. I'm like, you seen Nas lately? Like,
Yeah.
But through that, me and Jungle got tight, and then now I'm doing these mixtapes. The streets is feeling it. All the people in the bridge is knocking it in the park. They riding by, knocking it, playing it out the window. Jungle like, that's you? I'm like, yeah, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
But you never pressed Jungle like, man, Nas needs.
not one time. Nope.
That's
Never
probably
once.
why it was respected even more.
He brought it to me, and I was like, he was like, yo, my brother feeling you. That's how he said it. I was like, you got a brother I don't know about?
Yeah.
The only brother I know, he can't be feeling me. Like, you serious? Like, and he was like, nah, I was in LA, you know what I mean, with Nas and playing. He was all on YouTube going through all, and this is early. It's like 2014. Nas was checking it
That's
out. You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? So he changed my life. I tell him all the time, I'm in debt to him forever.
Yeah, stop telling him that though.
You know what I mean?
Do you?
Yeah, stop telling him that.
He got me out them jacks.
Yeah,
baby.
he gonna want to cash
He
in
gonna
on
wanna
them.
cash-
Yeah, don't
send
tell
that
him no more.
invoice. Like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Here's the invoice.
Do you recall that
man.
actual moment when you met Nas? What was that like?
Yeah, 100%. His manager called me, told me what was going on, and then maybe like a week after that phone call, Nas was in New York. He was doing a premiere for what was it? I think Illmatic, like the 25th, and like a documentary or something for Illmatic. And I met him that night. You know what I'm saying? He was on the red carpet taking mad pictures with people, and I'm standing behind him, and he keep like between pictures. He like, yo, we gotta get in the studio. He like, yo, I love your whole. He just like putting the battery in my back. I'm like, nah, I ain't on the carpet with Nas right now. Like, you know what I mean? And then from there, me and him just we built. You know what I mean? Start getting in the studio with him, going to dinner with him, all of that type of stuff, and we just created a relationship where it ain't really about rap. You know what I mean?
That's definitely earned and not given either.
Yes.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because Nas, he don't just hand that out.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
Does an early cosign from Nas build more pressure on you or a relief?
Relief.
Really?
How
Yeah,
so?
that was a relief to me. I mean, the world might be like, oh, that's Nas's artist. He got it. I was out of the worst predicament I could have been in, and I knew I had the guard behind it. Like, so as long as I stayed on a certain track, I know he gonna support it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you definitely had to be ready.
Yeah.
And
the
ready.
the world could catch
and
on
ready.
later. You know what I mean? But for now, I'm like, nah. I got his support. I got his belief. That meant a lot to me.
Hey man, with so many years, you know what I'm saying? And now we say debut album. Does that sound crazy? That after all
crazy.
and then do you ever think, Dave, like how much we missed or how much we didn't pay attention to?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That like, man, I've been giving it to y'all
lot, man.
for years.
A lot.
You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like, you know what it is? It's timing, man. Timing plays a part in everything, because for all the people that might have missed what was going on, I feel like the project I just dropped, you know what I'm saying? Like, gonna make you go check that out.
Yeah, easy
Survival.
call.
To make you see what brought me to this point or why I'm talking like this now.
And I do have to ask, you know, and the title is so simple, but it
Survival.
gotta have a lot behind it.
Yeah.
Why did you name your debut album Survival?
I feel like that's what we all doing. You know what I mean? Till you get to $1 billion. You know what I mean? Like, we all out here surviving. And I feel like all my projects leading up to that spoke on how I was feeling at the moment. Like, I had a project called Paranoia, project called Karma, you know what I mean? Project called Hate Me Now. Like, all these projects was how I was feeling at the moment. It was, them titles reflected my thoughts, how I was feeling. And I feel like Survival is all of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's all of that in one. So my album is based on me before Dave East.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, before the world knew who I was, before Nas knew me. I'm speaking on them times, because I feel like those are the times that people don't see. Those are the times people don't hear. They just see you famous, and they see the headlines, and then they think that's who you are. So I wanted to kind of break down how I got to this point for the kid that's somewhere knocking it and figuring out, damn, how can I be like Dave East? How can I get it there? Like, you know what I mean? I wanted to break that down. Like, look, I went to school. My mom used to wake me up too. I had to go through all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to break all of that down.
You know what I like about Survival? It's like a story.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you get narration. And the one thing that I enjoy that we miss a lot too is penmanship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even past projects where, like, there's groups, and not to take anything away from a group, but sometimes with a group, all you needed was that, all I need is that one verse.
That one verse.
Then this person come with theirs, they come with theirs. You know what I'm saying? But you always, aside from collaborations, it's just been you.
Me.
You know what I'm saying? So even when you hear Survival, you will hear collabs, but you will hear where it's mighty penmanship.
Yeah.
And when you got to your debut album, no matter what you had before that, you didn't get lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, preparing, what's the difference between so-called mixtapes, because the mixtapes was projects, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right, 100%.
And a debut album like Survival.
The focus, the me paying attention to detail was a lot more with this one. You know what I mean? I record a lot, so it's nothing for me to have 30 songs and, all right, let's pick the hottest 15,
Right.
put a title on it, and put it out. You know what I mean? But with this one, I wanted to. What really put me in my bag was going to listen to all of my favorite artists' first album, from the old school to the new school. So I went and knocked Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City. I went played 50, Get Rich or Die Trying, Snoop, Doggy Style, Nas, Illmatic. I played everybody's first album just to kind of see where their energy was at. Like, what time was you on when you knew this was your debut to the world? Because regardless how many mixtapes I put out,
Right.
you know, that album is like, all right, this is
And that's
mine.
what we say too, man. It's like, for those who know, they know.
Right.
And for those who don't, this is an introduction.
Yes, and
you know what I'm
and
saying?
I wanted that intro to be solid.
Yeah.
You know what I
DJ
mean?
Premier.
I wanted it to be solid.
Yeah,
You
and
on the
then
first track,
and
too.
then like with Primo as well. And let me tell you, man, when you hear that, for some reason you sound. I felt guru.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get them comparisons. Rest in peace to, he was another God talker, but I get them comparisons a lot to Guru.
And you know what?
I think it's my voice.
But aside from the voice, because the voice is like, all right, but I'm talking about hearing you on Primo stuff, it's just sound. I was like, damn.
Right.
And I was wondering, I was like, nah, he ain't channeling.
That's fire.
Yeah, but
And coming from you, that's fire.
and the thing about it, man, you got to think that's another
fire.
one with Primo. That's another one like.
Right.
That his it's cherished, bro. He's not giving that to Lil Oopty Wop with this.
You ain't getting that from
it ain't happening.
And you know
bro.
what's crazy? Swiss did that beat, so it's Swiss.
Wow.
See,
Then I got Primo scratching.
oh, so that's
on it.
even more
And
texture.
I don't
on
think they ever collabed before.
So it's just Primo cutting it and
He's scratching.
oh, so that's Swizz.
And then Swiss made that beat.
Man, that's a
I
perfect
brought them together.
marriage.
I just felt like that was like, without saying it, that's New York City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in so many words, it's like, as soon as it come on, it's like, oh, you know where I'm, you know what I mean?
Why is it important to you to continue to stay lyrical? Because we're not getting a lot of that now. When you hear of lyrical and whatever, the same names come up.
Right.
It'll be, like I was talking with somebody today, and he was having, whatever he felt about music today, but it's always Kendrick.
Same names, right.
It's J. Cole. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Why is it important for you to make sure that lyrically and delivery that you stay tight?
I feel like my music gonna outlive me and my family, everybody. Like, your music gonna outlive everybody. So why not say something? Mm-hmm. Why not whoever listens to it down the road, like, why not make them think like, damn, man, we really was paying attention to his craft and what he was saying. Like, I'm not lazy when it come to nothing that I'm representing. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be lazy with rap.
And then years down the line, somebody 5, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, will go and pick up your first album.
And be inspired.
First album to see what your vibe was on.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, yeah.
And it really is really appreciated, to be honest. On Need a Sign, I really loved how vulnerable you were and just the topic of what you were talking about. I feel that you've had a very interesting life. Do you recall moments where you really needed those signs, and were those signs answered to you, in which ways?
100%. I feel like too many times. That's my favorite record on the album. You know what I mean? But too many times, and that's my favorite record, and that was also the hardest record to write. You know what I mean? Just because of me tapping back into knowing where I was at. You know what I mean? Like, now it's like life is pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really wake up stressing nothing, but I can remember that. You know what I mean? Like, damn, how can I get out of this? Or how can I do this? Or how can I, you know what I mean? Like, and not having nobody to ask, knowing my mother ain't got it, not even knowing my mother don't got it, don't want to ask my mother, like, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm a grown man at 17. I thought I was grown, so I'm like, I want to ask her for nothing. But it's nobody I could turn to for even advice, you know what I mean? Like, just for a convo, it was like, at that time, it was so much going on, and like I said, I thought I was so grown, you couldn't tell me nothing, you know what I mean? So a lot of times I would put myself in a bad predicament just from not listening, you know what I mean? Or not taking heed to what somebody told me. So, yeah, 100%.
It's crazy that you say I Need a Sign is like one of your favorites on the album. Yeah. Because I think everybody has that moment. And that was one that I wrote down as well. Yeah. Because even just through life, like even with my ex, I remember like, God, I need a sign.
Tell me
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Man.
Like business, I need a sign. This person that you about to mess with, I need a sign.
Right.
And I've had some, and it's crazy, bro, because I've made some of the biggest life decisions by saying those exact words.
Give me a sign.
Give me a sign. And I remember one time God was like, you ready for it? Because I'm going to give it to you. I'm
And you don't know how you don't know how it's gonna come.
Yeah, and then it's
That's
like, boom, like, okay, here it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I channeled that to you, if I got to sue you or whatever, but yeah, I know you're not just getting all this stuff by yourself. All right.
On that same record, you talk about your grandpops being an immigrant.
Yeah.
What would you change in our immigration laws if you could?
Let them in, man. Like, stop. You know, it's like, I feel like the world should be free to roam. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it should be free to roam. It shouldn't be no, oh, you got this or you can't. Now, if you are a murderer or something, you should be able to go everywhere. But, you know, other than that, if you just from another country, why not? Why not be able to come here and start a life for yourself if you want?
It's all man-made borders for real.
It's all man. None of this is God cutting off none of that. It's all people saying it. Like, you know what I mean? So my grandfather was from Barbados. He worked on the Panama Canal. He snuck in the country. went to Harlem. You know what I'm saying? And was running numbers on that tip. Like,
See,
you know
that's
what I mean?
why we didn't want him here. No,
But real, yeah, you know, I come from that. Like, he really snuck in the country. You know what I'm saying? So that created a different type of drive that he taught my father and that my father taught me, because he snuck in the country. So it's like, all right, if our family got to be about something, you know what I mean? We got to get to it. So I always had that drive to go hard, you know what I mean?
I got to ask you just about your relationship with Nipsey Hussle.
Nip,
man.
My brother, man.
And you know what? One thing, bro, is people spoke very well about Nipsey Hussle in life.
Right.
And I always say, Dave East, that character is what's being said about you when you're not in the room.
Right.
And people said the most beautiful things in life. You know, after somebody passed, and we're like, oh, you know, but you knew that Nipsey was special when Nipsey was here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there was just something about brother that just made you feel good. Everybody he spoke to, he looked right at you, was very attentive.
Right.
He had time for everybody, bro. And I witnessed that before Nipsey passed. I knew how special he was, man. What was the relationship with you and Nip?
It was like deeper than rap. That's the best way I could really explain it. You know what I mean? I feel like I really don't even like to revisit it too much, because that's a loss that none of us could get back. Like, that void can't be filled. But I don't know, Nip just was real. It was he wasn't a rapper to me. He could rap, you know what I'm saying? He was super dope, but he didn't have none of the funny rapper, none of that to him. It was just 100%. He would ask me about my family, you know what I mean? My daughter, stuff like that, stuff that people don't ask you, you know what I mean? Like, most people ask you what's going on with your music or whatever you're doing. Nip would ask about Kyrie, you know what I mean? And he just gave me so much game. Like, being able to talk with somebody from the streets, we from the same, you know, we just from different coasts, but we come from the same type of environment. And being able to get so much game from somebody, it's like I was dealing with an old man. You know what I mean? Like, real talk, like, he just had mad game, like, you know what I mean? Like,
And gave it to us too, though.
Very educated,
and shared it, bro.
Very educated, spoke very, you know what I mean? When Nip talk, everybody listen. And I feel like there's only a few people ever that got that power, you know what I mean? And that don't got nothing to do with no money, nothing. It's about, you know, you felt like he knew what he was talking about. Regardless of what the topic was, it just always felt like, man, let me listen to what Nip's saying. Like,
why was it important to put The Marathon Continues on the album?
I had to,
and I mean, like, end. You know, that's a statement.
Yeah.
When you end with that.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy that he was right here for that interview.
Yeah.
And I watched it the other day.
Same seat, same mic.
I cried like a baby watched. I said, damn, that's like, but me and Nip was recording. We was working on our own project, and I can remember him saying, "Cuz, we just got to get Snoop on here. I don't want nobody else on this shit, just Snoop." And we was gonna feature Snoop on the tape. And I sent him a song. I did a record called it was called Back to L.A. And the last time we spoke, he said he had just built a studio, and he sent me pictures of the studio. He was like, as soon as I get the board and everything up, that's gonna be the first thing I record. And he didn't get to send it back, but I wanted to do something like, you know, knowing he was going to be on the album and knowing he was, you know, we were so kind of invested in each other's whole everything. I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to put something on there where it was like, you know, everything I wish I could have said, like how much he inspired me, you know, just the gems he gave me and how I navigate through this with him. I still hear Nip talking, like, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to like holler at him. Like I wanted to wrap the album up like that. Let me just holler at the bro.
It's so well written
beautiful.
too, though, bro.
You know what I mean?
So well written, and not just because, you know, when Nip passed, it was crazy because I was like, man, it was so much on social media, and then I saw pictures, and I was like, man, this dude stopped down and took a picture with everybody. It seemed like everybody had a personal story, and not just the big boys and the Dave East of the world, but it was like, you know,
regular people.
And he gave everybody time, man. And I think that's what hurt so much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if somebody got pinched for every time I think about Nip, you be like, damn, you think about him again? The same way if somebody got pinched every time you be like, damn, like it's constant.
I can't come to LA no more Like, and it feel weird out
Yeah.
here every time. Like, and this is maybe my 4th or 5th time since he passed coming out here, but this ain't never.
Especially when you got used to something.
Nah, this is weird out here. Now.
Like I can't go. Like I don't purposely pass by the store.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like how some people would go there. I remember I went one time at like 3 something in the morning, but it was like when everybody, you know, it was for me.
Right.
But as far as I can't just like, oh, I gotta roll past.
Right.
I gotta roll past. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a different texture.
I went over there one time since then because I didn't get to make it to his funeral. I didn't even want to see him like that.
Yeah.
But I went over there one time and he used to drink that Bel Air with me. He liked 1942, so I bought a bottle of 1942. And the last, like, when I was with him at the Double Up video in Malibu. And the way I smoke, I roll Fonto leaf with the paper. You know what I mean? And he was like, "East, roll me one of them blunts. How you be rolling?" And I rolled one and left it in the parking lot with a bottle of 42 for him. You know what I'm saying? I just sat down in the parking lot, smoked one, and just embraced it because I met him in that parking lot. That's where I met him at. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Fats.
Yeah.
Nip wasn't even at the store yet. He was like, "Fats in the store. He gonna get you right, cuz I'll be there in like 30 minutes." And I was just in the store chilling with Fats and Sam. First time I met him. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I always wondered. I was like, I would ask Nip, like, man, how do you make money here? Because he would
Give away everything.
You would go in and be like, yeah, hey, bro, take this right. I'm like,
take all
man.
to get my daughter right. My mama got all. I mean,
Such a good dude,
right,
man. The marathon continues for real.
Yes,
It's
it
not
does.
just words we say, bro. Davies, I thank you for that time too.
How did working on the Wu-Tang series impact survival?
I think it made me really like focus because I had to put like the Wu-Tang filming was so time demanding. I wasn't used to nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't used to, you got to be on set 5:45 a.m. and we gonna be here till 11 p.m. Like I was like, oh
Yeah.
this is all day. Like all right, so I had to get used to that. So my studio time was limited. You know what I mean? So I would say before I be in the studio 6-7 hours, I might bullshit an hour or two off, be on my phone.
Yeah.
Now I know, all right, I'm gonna get there at 1 a.m. and I gotta be back on set by 5 a.m. I got 4 hours, 3 hours to try to create something because I done already told Def Jam I'm doing this album. You know what I mean? So it made me really focus on them songs I was making because my time was limited as far as recording.
Did you have to audition to do the Method Man
Yeah,
thing?
I auditioned twice.
That's crazy.
You know, I was at BET and I had asked Method Man like why he picked you,
Right.
and he goes, "Oh no, he picked me."
Right.
What does that mean when you hear that?
It was like it plays into everything else. You know what I mean? Like Nas signed me. You know what I mean? My favorite rapper, personally, is Styles P. I did an album with Styles. You know what I mean? Like, so just like the heights I wanted to reach, of course everybody want to go platinum and #1 and all, but the things I wanted to do, like getting in, or the things that I couldn't even fathom is happening. Like, you know what I mean? Or it has happened. So to get Method Man's blessings on that was like, yo, this is crazy. Not like, because I didn't want to just get the role and don't meet with Meth. You know what I mean? Like I wanted him to be like, yo, I'm glad you playing me. Like, you know what I mean? So that was priceless, bro. Like Meth, another one that's, you know, I looked up to forever.
Would you do it again? And I don't mean again because that's a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like there's one thing about, man, I make music.
Right.
I know I can write. I know I could do this. But then when you go in and it's somebody else's time, you got to respect the other, you know, the other actors. You got to make sure that you locked and loaded on your lines. You know what I'm saying? Blocking. Like it's
You
a lot of
no
stuff.
time for
And
like,
people don't think like continuity and cameras and this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I say would you do it again, you was like, yeah, I'll do it again.
Yeah, it's worth
That's
it.
a different discipline too, though.
It's a different discipline, but it's the when it come out, you sit back and you watching it, and you seeing the feedback from the streets, from the people is worth it.
How do you balance all this and be dad too?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And how old is your little one? She's 3?
Yeah. She get, you know what's whack? Because she gets the least amount of time.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Regardless of what the world see on the gram and all, like she get the least amount of time, and that bothers me every day. But I realize that I look at it like this, right? She 3. I don't want to do this forever. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do this forever, and I want to be able to do enough in it the way I can set my life up forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't mind sacrificing that little time right now. She see me, you know, all the time, but it's still, I wish I could be with her more. I wish she could be sitting here at this interview, you know what I mean? But I don't mind sacrificing these early years to create something where by the time she 10, 11, 12, 15, Daddy
Yeah,
could be I could be
these-
all the way on deck.
Stop.
These
I could give her
todays for
I could give her all
tomorrows.
my time at
Yeah.
them years. You know what I mean? And it could be something that I could be happy about. I don't want to be 45, 50 and be trying to figure out how I'm going to be handling my
Yeah.
daughter. You know what I mean? I want that to already be locked and loaded.
Was
you know what I
making
mean?
Daddy Knows emotional for you?
Very, very. And she was in the studio
Yeah.
with me, you know what I mean? So it was you know what made it weird? Like I wasn't smoking. You know what I mean? Like, it was like one of them vibes.
You
I'm
didn't
like,
have her grab the bag and smell like
That's
white
right.
cheese. What does it smell like? It's broccoli, pops. Broccoli, blood.
Nah, she ain't smell no loud, man. But yeah, that's what it was a little different. You know what I mean? And then trying to get her to not talk, like to be quiet while I'm recording. She in there, she going crazy in the studio. So
Now you got to pay her too.
I'm like, Kyrie, let that rap real quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but that was fun. That was just that experience in itself. I feel like that's one of them records when she gonna get older, it's gonna make her cry. You
It's
know what I'm
crazy
saying?
how we thought we were doing so much before.
Right.
For whatever reason. Like, man, I got to get in. I got to get on.
Right.
And then when you have your child.
Change everything.
Yeah, and it's a different kind of hustle.
Change
Though.
everything. And
you know what I'm saying?
it don't, like I don't get tired
Yeah.
now. You know what I mean? I feel like, who used to say that? Kevin Gates? I don't get tired. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't get tired now, and it's because it's driven by her.
It's a whole different hustle
You know
purpose.
what I mean? It be times where I might not see her all day, but by the time I get home, she's asleep. And I just could go in there and kiss her while she's sleeping, and I got to roll again. You know what I mean? Like, so she missed me the whole, you know what I mean? Like, and then there'd be other times where she might not see me all day, but then I could go get in the bed with her. So then when she wake up, I'm right there. Like, you know what I mean? So
Special moments,
all that
bro.
matters to me, bro, like more than all of this. Like, all this is dope. This is how I create a life for myself and my family. But at the end of the day, it ain't, you know,
How
she
important
run
is
all
that
this.
to take care of the family? Like at one point, the family take care of you.
They took care of me. I feel like you're a sucker if you ain't got that mentality. Like you watch your moms or your pops or your grandma, whoever raised you. It ain't gotta be your parents, but you grow up to be a grown man or a grown woman, and you don't want to get them nothing back. You don't want them to chill for a minute. You're a sucker. Like that's just my outlook on life. Like my whole thing was by the time I hit a certain age, I didn't ask my mother for nothing else. I didn't want nothing else from her, but her to just be my mom.
Right.
Like, but I ain't want nothing from her material wise, or I wanted food. Like, Mom, can you cook this? Like,
Yeah.
I ain't want nothing else from her. You know what I mean? And now she don't work. She chilling. You know what I mean?
beautiful.
Now my pops is chilling.
How crazy is that?
All she want to do is like Pusha T said. All my mother want to do is gamble. She
You know what I love about
She
that?
want to go to casino.
Because
and
at-
Go
gamble.
casino
That's
right
all she
now.
want to do. I mean, and the fact that I could provide that.
Yeah.
Here, Mom.
And you
You
know
know
what's
what I mean?
crazy is at one point we know we worried the hell out of them.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
And it could have been problems, but now it's profit.
Yeah.
You know, and just having your parents, whoever it is, get a chance to see it through.
Yeah.
And whatever you had to pay with, you know, time here,
Yeah.
homelessness here, you know what I'm saying? And you always, like, I was one too, Dave, that kept my foot. Like, I knew when I was messing up. You know what I'm saying?
smart.
I had
Most
to do
smart people
this.
know that. Yeah.
And I had to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, you swayed certain ways, but I always knew that I wanted something.
Right.
And I could see the times when I was messing up, but I could also see the times when I was disappointing my mom too.
Right.
You know what
And
I'm
that
saying?
hurt.
That hurt
That,
the worst.
like I said, I tell people, I said it on the album, like, I done seen my mother in court sitting with me, watching me get whatever. I mean, like, I done seen that, so that them feelings don't go away, the memories don't go away. So, you know, I just got my first gold record. I mean, Perfect went gold. To bring that home to my mother, like, hey, Mom, like, look.
Yeah.
She a big fan?
Yeah.
She knows all the words?
She's my biggest fan.
That's
You
dope.
know, I bring my mom.
That's a hella accomplishment.
She be on stage
Because she
with me
saw
all-
other records. You know what I'm saying? Like,
She
here's
seen-
this record.
She know about them.
Yeah,
you know
but
what it is?
this record.
Yeah, it just feel good to disappoint them and then make up for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she didn't told me. She said, for all them times you let me down, you made up for
But
it. You know
at
what
the
I mean?
moment, it hurts.
You feel like it's over.
Because when you look it through the rear view mirror, it's like, oh yeah.
Right.
But when you look it through the front windshield, it's like,
It's
oh,
right when it's right there,
man.
man. What?
You got some really cool parents, like your mom and your
super
dad, and
cool.
even your relationship with them. Like, I don't know where, I think I saw it somewhere on Netflix. I forget what special, but I just saw that dynamic and I was like, damn, like they have such a beautiful dynamic and a beautiful relationship. Your dad is a real one. Do
Street.
you see reflections of yourself now that you're a parent of your parents? Now you're like, damn, like now I get it. Like,
100%.
what are some of those ways?
my parents always loved me. You know what I mean? And as simple as that sounds, like that goes a long way. You know what I mean? Through whatever I was going through, like I always knew. Even if I felt like my pops wanted to kill me, I knew I was like, he loved me.
Yeah,
you know
he
what I mean?
wanted to kill
Behind
me
all
all
of
over.
that, he killed me. But then he would do what he did. He would whoop us all that, and then explain to us why he just did it. You know what I mean? That's love. You know what I mean? Like, there ain't nobody in the street gonna beat you up and then tell you why they did it to you. Like, they gonna keep it moving. So I understood from a youth, like, my parents loved me. And my dad thing was school. That was his whole thing. Do good in school, you good with me. Don't do good in school, you ain't good with me. Like, you know what I mean? So
when you got kicked out of school, you were like, oh, man.
And then the thing that he told me to stay away from forever, you know, he always said, don't go to no jail. Like, jail ain't for nobody. Don't go to nobody's jail. Like, he used to always preach that. And then I go to jail. Like, you know what I mean? So it was like, I don't even want to talk to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tried to avoid him for a few years, but I see 100% of that in how I am with my daughter, how protective I am, how much I want to just put a smile on her face. You know what I mean? Like, it don't even matter what it is. Like, as long as she happy about something, I'll be cool. And my parents used to be the same way with me until I got my own attitude and my own ways and all of that. But up to a certain age, my parents was cool.
When and how does the homelessness start for you though?
My pride. You know what I mean? Like 18, 19, like, but my pride, not realizing I can't live up underneath my mom's no more. You know what I mean? But I ain't got nowhere to go.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not living here.
I can't be here, but I ain't got nowhere to go. So, you know what I mean? That came with a few nights in the car, a few nights at my man crib, a few nights at this chick crib. You know what I mean? A few nights here, a few nights there. Like, that came.
How long was it?
Maybe a summer, maybe a little longer, a little longer than a summer.
Hey man, a week of not knowing where you going.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Like a year.
And yeah, and I remember because as a family, we were homeless a few times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, literally sometimes sleeping outside because we didn't have anywhere to go. But what that builds,
something different.
Man, it's so when you do get a little something, man,
you cherish it.
And you never wanted to go again,
and you
bro.
Can't let it go, right?
And that's why some people say, man, why do you go? And I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm motivated by fear.
Right.
I don't know what it is. Sometimes I have a buffet of motivations. You know what I'm saying? But 100%. I know what it is to so-called have none. You know what I'm saying?
That's a feeling, bro, that I feel like everybody don't go, especially people that get to a certain level in life, everybody don't go through that. And it creates a drive that nobody could take, that nothing could stop. You know what I mean? I can remember how that was. You know what I mean? And then if it wasn't that, I was in the projects with a water cold 3 days a week. We had to boil water to take baths and all. Like, you know what I mean? Man. Like, oh, that's whack. So I was like, yo, as far as I get away from this, out of here.
And hustle, however the motivation is.
I'm out of here.
Like, for real.
But it made me. You know what I mean?
Does it trip you out that from what you doing now, that a lot of your family members have never experienced what you've been through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is bugged out when I think about it. You know what I mean? Just the you know, the things I'm doing now. I'm the first person in my family to be famous. You know what I mean? Ever. Like,
they all famous now, though.
You
know how when you made it, we made it.
Everybody made it.
I always knew it.
We lit. I always knew
We were there from the beginning.
I always knew something special about that.
You know I wasn't really that mad when they kicked you out. I knew what was coming. But so you say you the first one. So it's not like hella in the bloodline, or I got a cousin that was.
I have no famous, nobody, no NBA players, no, you know what I mean?
How do you adjust to that?
I deal with the same family members that I've been dealing with all my life. Or any new cousins.
You don't have
no extended aunties?
I don't know. I don't be trying to meet no new cousins, man.
You never had a new pop up at you at a show or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. I got all types of new family members. Like, I'm your mama's this and that. And I'll be like, oh, word. And I got to ask my mother, who's this?
You know what you got to do? What I do now, too, is I take a picture.
Right.
Because it's not me.
Right.
It's my wife's family.
Right.
Where people be like, oh, yeah, I'm such and I'm like, all right, send it to my wife. She's like, I don't know that.
I don't know who that is.
You know what I'm saying?
You lying.
I've seen them before in my life.
Dave East Day going down in here. And also, just real quick, man, we were talking about like homelessness and everything, man. And you made a comment, if I'm not mistaken, that it was sometimes you would be able to sleep at someone's house because of the way you looked.
I don't. You know what's crazy with that? I think that was just taken different.
Oh, okay. Because
Out of context.
The chicks
I did take it different.
A few of the chicks I was dealing with at the time had their own crib.
Yeah.
So it had to be something about me they liked.
See, with
I don't know
me-
if it was just how I looked, but it was me.
It was all that. You know what I'm saying?
it was
With
a
me,
mixture
I would
of
literally
things.
go to girls' house when I was homeless, be like, hey, can I sit? They be like, get the fuck off my porch.
If you don't,
I'm like, dude, you got like 2 extra bedrooms, and they be like, big, if you Kurt,
Not for you.
get your
But
ass
you know
off
what it
my
was?
porch.
You gotta go over there like you're not staying. That's the trick.
But you know what? I was
You gotta
over
go
like,
for Netflix and chill, and then
You
end
know-
up just spending the night. Like,
I was,
got the crib for
you know,
the
I
night.
got to 500 pounds. So
Right.
people knew that when I was there, I was there.
Right.
You know what I'm
in
saying?
the
Like
building.
that's a 500. You know what I mean? That's a lot of mass. Just you know what I'm saying? And then at 500, like it wasn't like I was hella smashable, and you know what I'm saying?
you couldn't sneak in nowhere.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
squeezable.
Yeah, people be like, man, you know you can't stay the night here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you get that thing where people like, oh, you broke Trevor's bed, and oh, you broke something. You know what I'm saying? So,
can never
but
take the
anyway,
top bunk.
Should have been in New York. I heard they like the big dudes when it get cold in New York.
Really, though?
Yeah. It's too hot over here. That's probably what it was.
Oh man, either it's too hot over here or I just wasn't hot enough. It was one or the other. Stop all that all shit.
I feel bad.
You wouldn't let me stay either.
made
You
me
never
feel
know. You
bad.
never asked.
So what now?
You never asked.
Oh, because I
Oh,
already
then
was
you-
programmed.
now you don't know.
But I met you after I lost the weight. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about when.
Technically, no.
But I was still in radio and I was doing
Yeah.
well. Don't even bring it up.
I was
You
up.
know, yeah, she came to like co-host the DJ thing when she was like 15.
Right.
But I was already on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
was
when
big boy.
that's
They
when
know
everybody
you.
wanted to be around me.
They know you.
You know what I'm saying? Fat Kurt? No, nobody wanted to be around Fat Kurt. What's going on, baby? My
Sure,
bad.
that's
Sorry,
it.
that was personal. That was for me. I apologize. We don't even
That was all
have to
for
use
you.
that. You know what I'm saying? That was for me.
I'm sure
Can you go
that
grab my water, please?
I'm sure that doing time changed you in a lot of different ways. Did it change your perspective on mass incarceration?
All that's whack. You know what I mean? That's just my outlook on it, and that always been my outlook on it. Like, just the conditions. You know what I mean? I feel like if jail is such a moneymaker for America or for whoever, for the government, you know what I mean? If that's because they that's why they keep building them, because it's bringing money in. So if that's such a moneymaker, you know what I mean? Like, at least let it be legit. You know what I mean? Don't just be don't be just taking time from people from people's lives and putting them in the worst conditions ever, man. Like, have them. You know what I mean? Like that shit is different in there. So I feel as though, you know, it's gonna always be criminals. There's gonna always be people that, you know, should be locked up. You know what I mean? But the majority of the people that's locked up don't need to be in there. You know what I mean? And it's only people like Meek. Shouts to Meek. Meek is speaking on it, but there's only certain people that even voice that shit. Like, nobody even talk about that. You know what I mean? Like, unless you go to jail and see it. Like, the average person out here living their
Don't
life,
know.
they don't care because they don't know. And they not putting that on CBS and CNN. You don't see that. You know what I mean? So I feel as though it's super whack. You know what I mean? And that it should be like a total investigation to the jails of America. You know what I mean? And how they being ran, who's in them, who's doing time they shouldn't be doing. Because that's foul, you know what I mean? And they just getting paid off. They getting so much money off it, they don't care. You go do 20, 30 years for some shit you never did.
Yeah, man.
And then come home, the proof come out you didn't do the shit. Then you come out and they want to give you some money. Like, here, this compensates 30 years of your life going, hell
That you
no.
can't get
You can't
back.
get that back. No amount of money gonna get you that back. You know what I mean? So I feel like it should be somebody should look into that. You know what I mean? I ain't the one to do it, but somebody should really look into that because it's foul.
How did doing that time change you personally?
Made me never want to go there again. I know that. You know what I mean? But it definitely put a different drive in me. Put a different, you know, on pointness to me. You know what I mean? Like, up until that point, I was used to my mother's loving. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. Like, I wasn't used to that, where they don't care nothing about you. You know what I mean? So that changed me like a little bit, a lot. You know what I mean? But I just was able to. It wasn't that long. I was sentenced to a year. I did 6 months. You know what I mean? But
That's long enough for me.
that was
That
that was,
long.
you know what I mean? But
Can you do 6 months now?
nah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I remember back in the day, I'd be like, oh, yeah, yeah, now you like,
You gotta, like, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, you got jail people, like people that's like that could do that on a headstand.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't one of them dudes, man. Like, I got to be around some women. I got to be around, you know what I mean? I got to be around some where I can live. Like that ain't nowhere to live. Like that ain't, you know, all you can do in there is get big.
Are you in a relationship now?
It's complicated.
Go ahead. He said it's
complicated.
It's complicated. It's definitely
Is there somebody watching this like, yeah, no, that's my man.
Yeah,
they all claim
Get a few over in here. No, that's my man. That's my man.
You know what it is? It's I got real love for my daughter's mom. Like I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. And I like when me and her good. It makes my world a lot better.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? So we go through our battles and all that, but we good right now.
It must be hard to maintain a relationship though when you're traveling so much and having to spend so much. Like you were saying, like when you're working on Wu-Tang and then also your album at the same time, and you're still trying to balance being dad.
Right.
Like the lover part in you is like, where do you get the time?
Where you get that, right? You know, I make it happen.
Yeah. You gonna fit that in somehow.
What kind of boyfriend are you?
I make it work. I think I'm the coolest boyfriend on earth.
Why?
Hey man, why is your homie back there laughing so hard at this?
Show them, tell them wrong.
Is he almost crying from laughter?
Man.
What up, cuz?
Hey dude, he been sitting back there silent.
I said, what up, cuz?
What up, cuz? But
What's my dude's name right here?
Drew.
Drew. Yeah. Hey man, Drew been back there like as soon as we got into the ladies, I be like, ooh. All right.
But you were saying why you're such a good boyfriend.
I'm cool, man. Like I ain't checking your phone. I ain't, you know what I mean? Like I ain't one of them dudes. Like do what you do. Like you know what I mean? Like but you know, hold it down. But I'm cool. I ain't gonna press you about nothing. You know what I mean?
Does it get hard to?
Whoa.
Sorry. No.
Answer that man.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Oh, there's more to it.
No,
My bad. I
there's
thought
more.
you, man. I didn't know. I was about to push back. I was like, man, this dude about his
We can
dick.
go there if you want, but I wasn't going to.
I didn't know what she was talking about, man. As soon as she said that, I was like, man, I just
Does it
like,
get hard?
I'm saying,
yeah.
No.
Or if you would have been like, yeah, it does.
It does.
It
Yeah.
do.
No, when there's the media headlines get more focused on your personal life than the music or the artistry.
Yeah, that's whack. That's corny too, but you know, I feel like it just come with it. You come with it. You gotta watch what you do, watch what you say.
Yeah.
Because that definitely, they pay more attention to that than anything you're doing. I don't care if I go do a movie with Denzel and an album with Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? They're going, let me go do something foul. That's going to be the headline. You know what I mean? So just watch what I do. Watch how I move to the best of my ability. Sometimes I can't escape it, but you know.
Are you on social media a lot?
I'm on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram. Yeah.
he's like, I'm on the
Does
ground.
any of that bother you? Where, like, how accessible we are now?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. That's why I really like. I try.
Do you feel you have to have it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was me before that, before the gram.
It seemed like I have to have, because if I wasn't Big Boy and radio and all this stuff, I wouldn't be on Instagram.
I wouldn't be on the news. I tell people that all the time. Like, if I wasn't Dave East promoting what I promote and was who I was, and why am I on Instagram for? To watch them?
Yeah.
To watch the people that I'm trying? I'm not doing that.
How do you pull back? Do you even go battle with something that is so wrong about either you or your character? Something somebody said, or do you pay any attention to like, nah, that wasn't me, nah, that wasn't, you got it wrong?
Sometimes I feel like you gotta speak up for yourself.
Right.
You know,
because if you don't, we will.
If you don't, then the world gonna speak up for you, and then that's gonna be the story. But sometimes I pick and choose when I do that, because a lot of times I'm like, I don't care. They're gonna say what they say anyway. Like, but if I feel like it's me really, if somebody's really trying to slander me,
right?
You know what I mean? I'll speak up for myself.
What's in your DMs?
Oh man.
Can I tell you what's in mine?
I try to stay out of there, man.
For one, I don't really.
That's a nasty world.
I don't really look at DMs, right?
Right.
I have, you know how people like, oh man, it'd be a gang of pictures in there.
Right.
I get no pictures, and this is for real, for real. This ain't jokes.
You check it?
You know how you can look at
just
certain,
go through it, like,
everybody with me. Everybody want an interview. Everybody want me to listen to something.
I can come up there, right?
There it is.
They got graphics, fire graphics.
Like with that. Oh
I got a
man.
mixture though. I might open a DM and it's just a booty, like a whole ass, right? Like, oh, I gotta get out of there. Then
and it's real ones though.
I don't know. Like I don't.
Can't tell.
You know, my DM is like.
Can you forward that to me?
Remember Dave Chappelle? Remember when he did the like if the internet was a place? Remember that skit? And he walked in the spot and it was just nasty, like.
Yeah.
So yours is like.
That's how my DMs is. Like I don't know what I might see. It might be some I don't know. I try to stay out of there.
Well, I'm gonna send you all these artists that want to get
nasty,
on, and you
man.
send me the other ones. You know what I'm saying? Like
It might be a man. You don't know. Like, you know.
Yeah, well, don't send
You
that
might
to
just
me.
open the picture and, oh, this is crazy.
Well, you gonna know what you sending to me beforehand. You know what I'm saying?
Forwarding nothing.
You're not gonna forward nothing. Not one.
Now he want to be stingy.
Then
with
I
it,
gotta
Dave.
go reopen the DM. I don't want to see that. Like, I'm not. That don't do nothing for me because I don't. My whole thing is like this, right?
I thought this was a pleasure us hanging out. But go ahead.
No, I said I can text you. I'll text you some.
Yeah, do that.
Hey, you
Do
was looking
that.
out for each
I
other.
ain't
Do
gotta
that.
DM you
Hey man,
nothing.
hand me your phone and let me scroll 5,
Just go through it.
and then whatever message I want to open up, I can open up.
You want to do that?
In your text
Yeah,
text
do that.
messages though.
Let him do it.
Give me your phone, text message, go to the text message. I'm gonna go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and whatever text message I open, I can read.
Why are you doing that?
What are you doing?
Try to clean my shit up.
No, you
can't.
He's straight
can't
up.
clean it up.
I don't like that game.
He was like, "Big survival, the new
cheated.
album." You know what I'm saying?
He's like, this is how you survive.
I don't like
At
that
first, he
game,
was
man.
with it. He was like,
He
"Yeah."
I thought about it.
And
I'm
then
like,
he saw.
He started seeing a couple. I'm like, "No, he can't land on this."
I don't know what he might land on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let's not play that.
we hit,
Davies,
man.
if you could give your younger self a really, really good piece of advice, what would that be?
What would I tell my younger self? I would tell my younger self, relax. You know what I mean? I would tell myself to calm down, chill. It ain't that serious. You got a lot coming in your future. You know what I mean? You got a lot more that's coming than what's going on at that moment. I thought my world was over at a certain age. It's like, man, this is over with. Like, you know what I mean? So I would just tell myself to relax, sit back, and listen. I didn't listen enough in them age. I listen so much now, you know what I mean? But in them age, like 16 to 20, I didn't listen to nothing, you know what I mean, to nobody. And I'm glad I even made it to the age I am today, you know what I mean? I lost a lot of friends during that period because we all had the same mentality, you know what I mean? Like, we was just rocking, like, however it went. However the day ended, it ended, like. But I would just tell myself to relax and listen, you know, and focus more than anything. Focus on something. I don't know what I would tell myself to focus on at that age because I wasn't in the rap as far as me being a rapper. But I would say focus up on something because, you know, the world don't stop. Time keep moving.
When you say 16 or 20 and not really listening, is it easier for you to write somebody a pass now because you kind of figure, that's what they going through right now?
Yeah, 100%. You gotta remember, I got mad little homies, like, I got a lot of them, like, that I love, they love me, they ask me just, you know, advice, what I'm doing, like, tell them to come in the studio, they just kick it with me, like, and yeah, they wilder than me, they wilder than I was, like, you know what I'm saying, like, the youth now is fried, a lot of them, you know what I mean, and I understand that in certain areas the youth is fried, so I feel like that's why I stay in contact with them because they looking at me as somebody that's lit, or somebody that's, you know, in the mix or in the industry or whatever. So me being able to come back, deal with them, have them in the studio with me, talk with them, FaceTime them, kick it with them, I didn't have that. I didn't have no famous person or no rapper or no NBA player that I could be talking to when I had my gun on, when I wanted to go do whatever I wanted to go do. I didn't have nobody I could call and be like, yo, I'm mad. What you think about? Nobody could calm me down. You know
with really, really, really being on. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about those when they not really on? When you looked at Tekashi 6ix9ine, you knew that he wasn't really on
from day one. But I met him before all of that.
How
really?
was that?
What was?
He was with my man. He was with one of my homies. My man just came home. We was in the studio. He didn't have no tattoos. He didn't have no colorful hair. He had a regular haircut. He sat in the corner. He's a cameraman. He used to do videos. Tekashi was a cameraman. That's a fact. And he just sat in the corner. He didn't say nothing. He said, "What's up?" And he smoked, drink, like, you know what I mean? Real L7. If you want to ask me, you know what I'm saying?
For real.
And the next time I seen him, he was the biggest blood I've ever seen on earth. You know
Did you know that was the same guy?
No,
or somebody? Yeah,
I didn't know. Somebody put me on. Like, oh, you know, that's boy. Like, I'm like, was in
you
the
got the
studio?
cameraman.
He's like, what?
That's boy. You know what I mean? And then I knew a lot of the people in the video with him that was actually real right. You know what I'm saying? They official. You know what I mean? So that's what threw me off. I'm like, why they with him? I know how they give it up. Like, it's the money, man. Money is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And money and just fame.
Yeah, man.
Make people do things they wouldn't normally do.
Did you know it was going to end up like it was going to end up somehow?
If it ever went bad, he was telling, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't from that.
Yeah.
And he didn't sign up for that. That's what you gotta understand. If it's somebody that come from it and know the rule, like I always explain this to people, like, we from the hood call people snitches. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere else do they care.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care nowhere else. You can go tell on everybody you want. Mm-hmm. Come out, go do a movie about it. Like, nobody, but the hood is, we created that. Oh, you snitch, snitches get stitches, rats, like, we created that. So if you ain't from that life, if you ain't signed up for that life, how you gonna put that, how you gonna feel like he gonna hold that down? Or he gonna, nah, I ain't gonna say nothing. Nah, I ain't come from that.
When he cuts out, what do you think's gonna happen?
I don't care what happens.
I got an album.
I don't
You know what I'm
care
saying?
what's
Survival.
going on, you know what I mean? But yeah, survival is out, baby.
Yeah. Do you think how they say that people are still do either shows or like he can come home to a deal?
He definitely can.
That's crazy.
He never got to do it.
Because like I said, the industry isn't run by street people. The people that's booking you is not street. These ain't street dudes. These is like people with money. They don't care what he did. As long as he can sell out that venue and make them money, come on.
That's crazy.
They gonna book him. You know what I mean? But the streets ain't gonna never feel that. Like his past to whatever he had as far as street goes is gone. Like, he ain't gonna get that back.
Easy.
But he can still come home and go get money. He go overseas and be the biggest star ever.
I do want to ask you, Dave East, you had a song with Kodak Black on it, right?
Yeah.
And you pulled it off Survival album, or what happened?
It was I wanted to address that too because I see it all over the internet.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Kodak.
Okay.
Personally, I don't even know him like that. We met maybe twice. I made a double XL cover with him. We was on that together. But me and Nip was, like I said, when you asked me, it was deeper than rap. So anybody, I don't care who it might have been. You know what I mean? Like, don't speak on that man after that man gone if it's not in a good light. Don't speak on that man, woman, that man, kids. Don't bring that man up. That's just my opinion on it. They take it how they want to take it. But I had a record. It was actually Night Shift. I had a little baby on it, and Kodak put a verse on it. And just sitting back listening to it, it was dope. But I just couldn't have a song called "A Marathon Continues."
Right.
Where I'm talking to my brother, and he's on it, and then a few songs before that, you know. That's just me, man. I'm a loyal dude. I'm real. I don't hold my tongue. I ain't got no filter. But that's just me. You know what I mean? And the internet gonna spin it however they want to spin it. But like I said, I have no problem with homie. Free Kodak Black. Be real, like you know what I'm saying.
But just on that project.
But on that tip, I don't. You know, I'm a stand with my local on that one. So I couldn't do that. I don't care what it would have did to the charts.
Right.
How hot it might have been. That's dope. But nah. You know what I mean?
That couldn't have been a hard decision to make.
Nah,
huh?
my integrity is what I stand on. So it's like at the end of the day, I can't be out here waving that flag like you know what I mean? And then I go do that. That's crazy. You know what I mean? To anybody that from that camp or from that love me or got real love for me and support for me, how I look.
Yep.
How I really look. You know what I mean? So I couldn't do that.
More acting, is that in your future? Do you want to do more? You mentioned possibly, like you were like, oh, if I ever did a movie with Denzel.
Man,
Definitely.
you should play me in my life story.
Definitely. Oh, let me do
That'd
it.
be dope. That'd be dope, man.
Put you in a big suit.
I definitely would do it. You know.
I'm talking about after I lost the weight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because sometimes looking at him, it's like looking in the mirror. But go ahead.
It's a reflection, huh?
Yeah, you know
Look
what
at
I'm
that.
saying?
I see it.
It is,
Same
man.
smile.
What you say, honey?
Twinsies.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It wouldn't sound the same coming from me, like twinsies. You know what I'm saying? But I thank you for that.
I
Do you
see
get that a lot?
Yeah.
Do people call you like big boy, like when you walk
All the
places?
time. I get that all.
Hey, dude, I was
York,
just
Miami,
over the
everywhere.
week. Oh,
Miami.
over the weekend, I had walked into a store and it was some people. I guess they were going to Camp Flognaw,
Right.
and they stopped me and they was like, "Oh, can I get a picture with you?" And I get stopped all the time.
Right.
And they was like, "Oh, I love you. We gonna get Survival." And I'm like, "Survival?" You know what I'm saying? I let that go. And then when the old girl at the end, before she got in the Uber, she was like, "Dave East, I love you." And I was like,
Oh.
yeah, man. So I gave
They
you
knew
know what I'm
you
saying?
was about to drop.
Yeah, I was like, so I gave her the hug too, and I was like, man, I get it all the time. You know what I'm saying? I get it all the time. But it's good that you get it too. Now, what were you saying about the acting?
Yeah, what do we have more in your future?
Yeah, definitely. You know, the Wu-Tang thing has definitely brought me some scripts.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it. I like being able to, do both.
Does it get hard with the tattoos? Because I know like sometimes for a certain role that you're gonna have to like cover it.
They got makeup for all that.
Is it like annoying to sit there for hours?
Yeah, but you get used to it. You know, I got for meth I had to do they had me wearing gloves a lot. So I didn't have to really do my hands, but my neck, my face. I had to do that every day.
What does wardrobe look after?
Damn.
Like after, because you know.
Oh yeah,
Does the
I was
makeup
sorry to the whole wardrobe. I was killing all them clothes, mad makeup, my neck, and then it was hot. We were filming in the middle of the summer, but we filming like it's cold, so I got mad layers on.
If you could speak a role into existence, what would you love to do?
Something like Marvel, like Avenger, like a Thor or something, like a character. Like I would want to be in one of them roles, like because I think that's so like out of this world from what people know me for. Even the roles I've had, if I was actually like a, you know what I mean, like Green Lantern or something, that'd be fine.
What would your superpower be?
I don't know.
I have one.
It depends on who I am.
He's like, am I in Wakanda?
Am I Black Panther?
Yeah.
I don't know who I would be. Like,
Watch it be called like Pussy Teardown, man. You know, someone like, dude, he got the role of Pussy Teardown, man.
Bye.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta
like,
have him cape too. He gotta have a cape on.
you know what I'm saying?
Stop it.
Or I pull up to the house like, no! What is he doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Pussy Teardown.
What's he say?
My girl.
Yeah.
Run out the front door with the cape on.
Hell yeah. Walk in the house like, all right, we're gonna let it go.
Teardown is here.
Bye.
Yeah.
Pussy
All right,
Teardown is
yeah. What I'm gonna do, Davies, is I'm gonna put 7 seconds on the clock.
All right.
And you gotta name 7 things. All right.
Yep.
Now we're ready. Got a listener to vote for or against you.
Yep.
All righty. Don't trip off the person that's voting for. Don't hate the person that's voting against you.
Okay.
Because really, this is almost stacked where it's not in your favor.
Okay.
I think
not.
this one
That's
for
how I
you.
sound.
This one for you right here should be low hanging fruit though. Dave East.
All right.
All righty.
Relax,
Dave
listen, and
East.
focus.
Name 7 things in 7 seconds, and your time will begin after I ask you this. Dave East. Name 7 other famous Daves. Your time begins now.
David Justice, Dave Franco.
Damn, 2 of them? Whoa, man. No Dave Chappelle.
Damn.
No David Spade. Whoa, man.
Wow.
David, do cuff me.
So you're the only famous Dave? There's no Dave
All of a
Letterman?
sudden.
I forgot Dave Chappelle.
Wow. I
Wow.
thought for sure you would have said Dave Chappelle.
David
Just
Blaine?
out of respect.
David-
David Blaine?
David
You've been
Blaine.
sitting here floating all day. And you didn't even say David Blaine.
That was the quickest 7 seconds ever.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
what she
Regular
said.
7 seconds.
Yeah, that's what my wife said too.
Oh my God.
I was like, hey, I tried to give
That's
you
a whole
everything I
different 7
could. You know what I'm
seconds.
saying? Big boy
Big
neighborhood
boy.
Davies. Definitely want to thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
into the neighborhood hanging out, man.
Thank
I
you.
couldn't wait to get up here. You already know.
You're
that.
dope.
Man,
Long
I
time
heard that,
coming.
man.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Word.
did that.
and just on a great body of work too, though.
Thank you,
man.
man. Word.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that you are already, man, but you should be very, very proud
Thank you, man.
of the work that you put together.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So I thank you for coming into the neighborhood, man. Thank you for having fun with us.
Yeah.
This was lit.
You know what I'm saying?
This was lit.
Yeah, and we got to do it again. You know what I'm
ASAP.
saying?
Let's do it again.
All right, we'll come back tomorrow then. You
See,
back?
I pull right back up.
You know what I'm saying? We got a gang of things to
We
talk
got some
about.
more questions?
You know
I'll
what I'm
pull
saying?
back up.
Hey man, do you have a basketball team that you enjoy?
Man, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard.
What do you do for fun?
Me, I like movies.
What was the last movie? Have you seen The Joker?
I did, but I went to sleep on it.
What? Why'd you fall asleep? Were you tired or
Working
because
hard?
the movie bored you?
He just wasn't Heath. Rest in peace to my man.
Damn.
Heath. He wasn't Heath to me. Like Heath killed that.
You went
too
to
crazy.
sleep on
I
it?
passed smooth out. Like
Nah, you didn't give him a
Hey,
fair
man,
chance.
I gotta
that-
watch. I'm gonna try it again. Though.
But
I'm gonna
isn't
try it
that
have
the
to.
best sleep when you're not supposed to sleep?
When you just
the
pass
fighting
out,
sleep,
the random
when you
joint.
just fighting
Yeah.
it like
And somebody like, watch the movie. I'm like,
Wake up. That was such a great movie.
damn, you gotta go
Ow.
see that again, bro.
I'm trying to think. What's the last movie I seen?
Do you watch a lot of Netflix?
Yeah,
Or
I
you
watched that.
documentaries?
I mean, you know what,
So you were on
you know what I've
Netflix?
been locked in? Yeah, I am on there.
Saw that.
I've
You
been
ever
locked-
watch yourself? Like, do you order? Like, do you click?
I watch Beats.
Right?
I watch Beats.
You do?
Yeah, and I watch some of Wu-Tang. It'd be
Right.
weird though. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I gotta watch it by myself. Like,
Do
if
you
I'm
like-
with people, it's weird. Like,
Critique yourself. Like, oh, I should have done that part, or I should have done it like this.
now you know what's crazy with the acting. You never know what take they're gonna use.
Ah.
So for each time you seen me, we might have did that scene 20 times. So I don't know which one they was using.
Yeah.
So I had to really wait till it came out.
What if a female want to watch some of your work with you? Is that awkward?
Yeah. I'll watch it though.
You ever had a female that wanted you to smash to any of your music?
Oh my God.
To my music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that awkward?
No.
Yeah.
You know, that's lit.
Yeah, no. Can you imagine?
Playing Alone on Survival over and over again.
Alone, repeat.
Repeat and repeat.
Man, well, thank you for coming into the
Thank
neighborhood,
you.
man.
Appreciate it.
We're going to let them go ahead and get on out of here, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Dave East in the neighborhood, Big Boys
Big
neighborhood.
Boy.
Yeah.